Welcome back to the podcast. Today, I want to tell you about one of the dumbest mistakes I've ever made in my garden, and how it accidentally taught me more about organic growing than any book, YouTube video, or expensive gardening product ever did. Because for years, I thought organic gardening meant fighting constant battles. Bugs, weeds, poor soil, disease, watering problems. And no matter how much work I put in, it always felt like nature was winning. Then one afternoon, chickens completely wrecked my garden and somehow made it better. So today, I want to talk about why small livestock and gardening should never really be separated, and why building a living system matters way more than chasing perfect plants. When most of us start gardening, we copy what we see online. You buy raised beds, you buy fertilizer, you buy seedlings, you buy organic pest spray, maybe you install irrigation. And there's this feeling that if you just buy the right combination of things, eventually your garden will become productive and easy. That was definitely me. I treated everything separately. The compost pile was over here. The chickens stayed over there. The garden itself was basically this isolated little production zone. And honestly, it felt exhausting. Every season had a new disaster. One year it was aphids. The next year it was squash bugs. Then powdery mildew, then nutrient deficiencies. It felt like every solution created another problem. And I remember thinking, why does nature seem to grow forests effortlessly, but growing tomatoes feels like managing a failing business? That question stuck with me, because in nature, nothing exists alone. There's no waste. Everything feeds something else. But modern gardening, even organic gardening sometimes, teaches us to isolate everything. Plants here, animals there, compost somewhere else. And that disconnect creates weakness. I just didn't realize it yet. So here's where the chaos begins. I had bought a few cheap laying hens from a local farm. Nothing fancy, just regular backyard chickens. At the time, I mostly wanted eggs. I definitely did not want them anywhere near my garden because everyone warns you about that. They'll destroy everything. They'll dig up your beds. They'll eat your plants. And to be fair, those warnings were completely accurate. One afternoon, I forgot to latch the gate, and those birds sprinted into the garden like they'd been planning a prison escape for months. Within minutes, mulch everywhere, lettuce destroyed, seedlings uprooted, kale absolutely massacred. I was furious. I remember standing there thinking, great, months of work ruined because I forgot one gate. But then something strange happened over the next couple weeks. The areas they scratched through started looking healthier. The soil looked darker. The plants nearby became greener. And insect pressure dropped noticeably. At first I thought it was coincidence. But the more I watched, the more I realized the chickens had done several things all at once. They aerated the soil, added manure, ate insects and larvae, mixed organic matter into the surface, disturbed pest cycles. They created biological activity. And that's when I started learning something that completely changed how I gardened. Traditional farms used to integrate animals into almost everything. Chickens weren't separate from production. Neither were rabbits, ducks, goats, or pigs. Animals were fertility systems. And once I understood that, everything started clicking into place. After that experience, I stopped trying to create a perfect garden. Instead, I focused on building relationships between things. The chickens rotated through resting beds before planting season. Garden scraps fed the compost pile. Weeds became animal feed. Chicken bedding became mulch. Compost fed the soil. And healthy soil produced healthier plants. Suddenly, gardening stopped feeling like endless maintenance, because I wasn't trying to overpower nature anymore. I was giving natural systems a direction. And honestly, one of the biggest mindset shifts was realizing that signs of life are usually signs of health. A lot of beginner gardeners panic the moment they see insects. But when your garden starts attracting worms, pollinators, frogs, birds, predatory insects, that's often a sign your ecosystem is stabilizing. Now, obviously, balance matters. You don't want total chaos, but a completely sterile garden usually becomes fragile. That's why chemically dependent gardens often collapse the moment something goes wrong. They aren't resilient systems. They're controlled environments. And control is exhausting. Resilience is sustainable. So if there's one thing I've learned from combining gardening with small livestock, it's this: stop asking, how do I force this garden to produce? Start asking, how do I make this ecosystem healthier? Those are completely different approaches, because healthy systems solve many of their own problems. Healthy soil holds water better. Diverse gardens attract beneficial insects. Animals recycle nutrients naturally. And the crazy thing is, once these systems start working together, you often need less intervention over time, not more. Less fertilizer, less spraying, less constant troubleshooting. You stop managing individual problems and start managing overall balance. That's the real power of organic gardening. Not perfection, not aesthetics, not giant Instagram vegetables. Balance. So yeah, the biggest breakthrough in my gardening life started with a completely avoidable chicken disaster. And honestly, I'm grateful for it now, because it forced me to stop treating nature like a machine and start treating it like a living network. If you've been struggling with your garden lately, maybe the answer isn't another product or another technique. Maybe the answer is finding ways to make the system itself more alive. Anyway, thanks for listening. And if you enjoyed this episode, share it with somebody who's trying to grow food, raise animals, or build a more self-sufficient life. I'll see you next time. God bless.